Hard work does not make you a millionaire. In fact, if it did, then why are there millions of construction workers working 15-hour, physically and mentally draining work hours every single day, not becoming millionaires? Listen, don't take it from me, but maybe Bill Gates will get the point across a little bit better. I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. I know you've been told that hard work is the attributing formula to success, but I can tell you right now with personal experience that I know 22-year-olds making over $50,000 a month in profit with less than a 4-hour workday. And no, this isn't hard work. Don't get that mixed up. They sit in front of their laptop in their cozy room temperature apartment with a coffee and some lo-fi music playing in their headphones. All right, I don't want to piss anybody off here, but if we're going to come to reality, you need to understand that AI has caused a monumental shift in how society operates every single day. Now, if you just don't believe me, that's fine. Let's take a look at the statistics. And here's exactly what the research says. Since the 2000s, AI has already replaced over 1.7 million jobs. That number, honestly, is just a fraction of what the current trajectory is. That states over 300 million jobs will be overtaken by the year 2030. Listen. The last thing I want to do here is frighten you. And instead, maybe I want to open up a new door for you. Keep in mind, with the use of AI in your day-to-day life, not only will you make more money, but you're going to work less now than you have ever before. How is this? Well, AI, as a matter of fact, does all of the heavy lifting. It's funny, they always say your network is your net worth. And frankly, while you and I may not know each other personally, I am more than happy to open up a golden door for you, a door so incredibly beautiful that it saves you from just being another statistic and instead becoming an outlier. Statistics love to show just how many jobs will be replaced, but the one thing they don't mention is just how many jobs will be created. Now listen, there's going to be a finite amount of you that capitalize on this new AI era, and honestly, I just want to be the one that shows you how to do it. Now, before I come out of the gates and show you just how you can avoid being another lost job statistic, I want to equally compare all business models around right now and show you just how obsolete all of them are becoming. And yes, I'm fully aware that I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this video, but when I read that 300 million jobs are going to be taken over by AI, honestly, it makes me a little bit anxious. I've spent more and more time developing AI systems to run within our companies and utilizing it more than ever to avoid any possible repercussions I might face in the future if I decide to just ignore the new Golden Gate era that AI is opening for us. Now, I'm going to compare 7 different business models using 6 critical categories. So first and foremost, what's the upfront capital in order to start a certain business? How much money you need to start to get the business off the ground? Scalability. This is going to be your ability to make more money without doing more work, okay? Remember, we don't want to have to work more to make more. The next one is going to be fulfillment. How hard is it to actually deliver what it is that you're selling? What is the risk? How likely are you to lose your shirt? How likely are you to fail? The next one is difficulty. The learning curve and trial and error involved. Just how hard it is for someone brand new to get into the business and to become profitable. And the last one, which is the most important one of them all, AI incorporation. Just how easily can AI actually be incorporated into these business models? Now, I want to try and find the easiest business model around. And to do that, we need to find a business model that meets the following criteria. Ideally, and I don't know if we're going to be able to find one, but I might just have something at the end that nails every single one of these boxes. First and foremost, we want the upfront capital to be incredibly low. Not only that, we want the scalability to be incredibly high. We want the fulfillment to be easy. We want the risk to be low. We want the difficulty to be easy. And we want the AI incorporation to be incredibly high, if not 99% done for you. Now listen, there's likely a ton of videos online that claim they have the easiest business model in the entire world to make money on right now. Probably seen some. Let me tell you this, I'm 23 years old at the current time of making this video, and I've tried it all, from stock trading to affiliate marketing to e-commerce to dropshipping to real estate, software companies, you name it. I have tried it all. And frankly, I was successful in every single one of them. Dropshipping was the first level of success that I had ever had. And this ended up transpiring into stock trading, in which I had my first $500,000 in profit day. This transpired into vape shops and physical locations, which then transpired into learning to code to build my own software, which then led me into affiliate marketing for the actual traffic. And I always, saved some money aside and dug into real estate, and becoming a multifaceted person myself, I technically am always a freelancer. And honestly, this is why you came to the right place. Because what I can tell you is someone doesn't just accidentally end up in the spot that I've ended up in today. I've had to fail and learn more times than most people have ever even tried. And keep in mind, to have done it within my time frame, I'm 23 years old. Surely I've had to pick up some kind of wisdom on the route. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I present you a full breakdown framework of the 7 most prominent business models around. And we're going to tackle just exactly which one you should be doing in 2025 and in fact, for years to come. So the first one is drop shipping, everybody's favorite. All right, what is it? This is when you create an online store and sell products without holding inventory. When customers order, you purchase the item from the supplier, usually overseas, who ships directly to the customer. You end up profiting from the markup between the wholesale and the retail price. All right, now let's kind of talk about the upfront capital. In today's day and age, which is insane, $2,000 to $5,000 just to get started. And honestly, this doesn't even guarantee that you're going to be successful. So, one, you have the ad testing, you have the website setup, you have the initial marketing spend. Not only that, you have the fulfillment, and then you also have the warehouses that the product is storing, which you're going to be giving out a percentage of the sales on. Not only that, you have typically you need to do branded drop shipping in today's era in order to be successful. That's all cost. That all is incredibly expensive. So $2,000 to $5,000 range is typically peaking on that $5,000 side. Now, there was a point in time when dropshipping required an iPhone, a TikTok, and 0 to none upfront cost. But frankly, those times are gone. Okay, with the amount of saturation in the market, adverts, which are just advertisements, are your best option. Okay, which actually just simply amplifies the difficulty of this one because advertisements are just difficult to begin with. All right, let's kind of talk about scalability now. And honestly, this one's moderate. It's not too bad. The one thing I do have to note is you do have, constant product testing cycles, and then you're not really building a lasting asset. Now, listen, once you have invested thousands of hours into learning marketing and advertisements, then you've went ahead and spent thousands of dollars finding a winning product, and then finally have found that one product, it becomes smooth sailing from there. But wait, you do know about product cycles, right? Yeah, that winning product you have now isn't going to be a winning product a few months from now. So just how scalable actually is this? All right, let's take a look at the fulfillment now. Moderate. Okay, why? No control over shipping, supplier dependencies, and customer service issues. Not only that, given that you have absolutely no control over your fulfillment supplier, this pressures you to use fulfillment companies, which just increase your upfront capital. You see, dropshipping is great in the traditional sense, but in order to scale, you actually need a fulfillment team that can guarantee that your product will make it to where it needs to go. Oh, and that means buying product instead of middlemaning it. What happens when your product is no longer a winning one? Yep, all of that product is wasted. Dropshipping in the 2000s or 2021, 2022 was a whole lot easier than it is now. Frankly, you could go on AliExpress, you could find a product, you could build a website, you could market that product, and simply send that product from AliExpress to the customer's house. But in today's day and age, it doesn't exist anymore. With that being said, yes, you need a fulfillment center. If you buy $100,000 worth of product at a fulfillment center and that product is no longer a winning product within this cycle, all of that money goes to waste. So yes, your risk is incredibly high. Not only ad spend with no guarantee, market saturation and tariff impacts. Considering we have to deal with ads, market cycles, fulfillment companies, and tariffs, I'd have to say this might be one of the riskiest options with how the economy is going right this second. E-commerce has never been more difficult to do. Not only that, your risk is so incredibly high when it comes to ad spend. You need to risk $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, upwards of $10,000 just for testing a product. That doesn't guarantee that you're going to get sales. That is money that can literally just be burned. All right. So yes, that makes the difficulty very, very hard. It's an intense competition, 6 to 12 months to profit. I mean, if ever. And so far, we've covered the upfront capital being $2,000 minimum, the difficulty in scaling due to market cycles, fulfillment being an absolute issue, and risk being incredibly high. I must say, this even on paper looks difficult. Frankly, dropshipping is one of the most difficult online businesses, and I don't know how people are getting away with still pushing the narrative that dropshipping is the best business around. This is not 2022 anymore. Listen, I'm going to give dropshipping the benefit of a doubt, and I'm going to say that the AI is through the roof. Let's take a look here. As a matter of fact, it's incredibly low. Basic chatbots for customer service and some ad optimization tools. But remember, the majority of this business is human operated. I mean, the sourcing of the product, the fulfillment, think about it. You are literally selling a physical item. This requires manual labor. We do have the, flexibility for customer service and some basic chatbots, but honestly, where AI is right now, that would be a waste. All right, we can kind of scroll down here and we can kind of look at the chart all together. We see that dropshipping's upfront capital is about $2,000 to $5,000, and this is an absolute minimum. If you are trying to find a winning product that's going to make you more than $10,000 a month for at least 6 months, which is, honestly terrible, you're looking at spending of upwards of $2,000 to $5,000, and frankly, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna say it's gonna be at least $15,000 to $20,000 if you just want to be successful in it. Now, if we look at the scalability, it's moderate. Scaling a product that has product cycles is so incredibly difficult, given that you have a fulfillment center that is still holding on to the product. So unless you're okay with just burning money, I'd say the scalability is quite horrible. The next one, we have the fulfillment, which is obviously moderate. The risk is incredibly high. The difficulty is very, very, very hard. And then the AI incorporation is low. Now listen, dropshipping used to be an absolute gold mine, especially when Shopify released. Honestly, it's a shame where things have gone because it attributed to the digital gold rush just a few years back. And just like all things, especially in this world where AI is taking over and we're moving so incredibly fast, you simply have two decisions. You can either act or you can follow. And following in this industry is the number one key move if you want to get left behind. All right, let's kind of take a look at the stock trading, investing, crypto. This one is a popular one, and I'm sure you have all seen, plenty of YouTube videos on this. So what is it? Buying and selling stocks, cryptocurrencies, or other financial instruments to profit from price movements. This includes day trading, short-term and long-term investment strategies. Let's take a look at the upfront capital. The upfront capital is looking at about $5,000 to $25,000, and this is meaningful capital needed if you want to have any form of scalability. Okay, and then the other one is PDT rules under 25K. So what this means, if you don't have $25,000 in your investment portfolio, then you simply cannot day trade. You get 3 trades a week or 3 trades a month, one of the two. Now, any day trader in the world who knows what he's doing will tell you that you have a 2% risk to reward rule, which means you only ever risk 2% of your portfolio. What does this mean? It means you literally need to invest at least $5,000 if you want to even make any money when taking a 2-to-1 risk to reward trade. And if you want to fully be able to day trade, yes, you need to deposit at least $25,000 into your portfolio to not get flagged as a pattern day trader. Now think about this. If I want to make $1,000, okay, I want to make $1,000 in a single day, but I can only risk 2% of my entire portfolio. This means that I literally need to have, what is that? About $100,000 in my account, and I need to get a 100% trade, or at least a 50% trade. That is insane. Now, your scalability is incredibly high. This does scale with capital, but your losses also scale. Let me put it this way. You can trade yourself from $100 to $100,000 and be up 99,900%. But guess what? You're still only 100% away from losing it all. Now let's take a look at the fulfillment. This is definitely the easiest fulfillment of all time. You literally click a few buttons. There isn't even any fulfillment here. Very easy to operate. Click a few buttons and you're set. Let's take a look at the risk. Goodness gracious, extreme. 90% of day traders lose money competing against institutions. Yes, this is absolutely public data. 95% of traders not only aren't profitable, but actually lose money. Understand that these trading platforms actually want you to win. And the more you win, the more you trade. The more you trade, the more money they make. The last thing they want is for you to not make any money and quit trading. So instead, they give you all of the tools in the book to help you become a profitable trader. Yet still, 95% of traders fail. And honestly, that should speak for itself in regards to risk. All right, let's kind of talk about the difficulty. And yes, it's nearly impossible. One, there's insane algorithms that you're trying to outsmart. And then not only that, you're dealing with professional traders, smart money, which are institutions that can literally see exactly where you have your entry and stop losses at. So they can make major adjustments within the market based off the amount of money that they put in to specifically have you lose money. I mean, you're dealing with an unfair advantage, okay? Now, just plain and simple, it is the most difficult online business that you can even involve yourself in. Now, AI incorporation, this is absolutely limited. I mean, some trading bots, but you're competing against institutional AI. AI and markets just simply don't work. Everyone who is not profitable will tell you that they are. But what I can tell you is this: smart money institutional traders can see exactly where you have your stop and entry target. Using this, they can manipulate the entire market with the amount of money that they move around. Your AI is no match for just how unfair their advantage is. Now, let's kind of take a look at the overarching scheme here. And we have one, the upfront capital is $5,000 to $25,000. And this is if you want to make maybe a few hundred extra dollars a month, if somehow you become a professional and, you spend thousands upon thousands of hours of studying and practicing, and you finally get your $5,000 that you can invest, and then you're going to end up losing it all because it's an incredibly difficult business. And I come from a very, very, very long stock trading background, and I can tell you that the philosophies that you need to adopt in order to be profitable take so much market experience that it makes it just completely unworthy of even being an online business, because I don't know anybody who can pick it up and just make money. So not only that, your scalability is very high. Okay. Your fulfillment is incredibly easy. Your risk is, in the extremes. Your difficulty is very hard, and your AI incorporation is just completely limited. Now, I have some of my biggest profit days ever trading stocks and crypto, but I'd also like to mention I have some of my biggest losses in a day as well, trading crypto and stocks. Sadly, it's just how the market is. And honestly, it's heavily manipulated by smart money, and I don't want to be in a market that isn't controlled by my input. As a matter of fact, my success is heavily reliant on financial institutions deciding to take a day off. And this is just terrifying to me, okay? All right, let's talk freelancing. Now, freelancing, I'm pretty sure everybody's a freelancer in one way, shape, or form. It's simply just selling your skills and services directly to clients on a project or hourly basis. This could be graphic design, writing, web development, marketing, consulting, or any specialized skill you possess. Just about everybody's a freelancer. If I pay you, $10 to do something for me, you are a freelancer, okay? Now, the upfront capital on this is $0 to $500. The only thing you need is some basic tools and maybe a website. Now, depending on exactly what you do, the upfront cost of this should be very low to nothing at all. In fact, you would be paid to simply complete the project that they need before buying the software needed. So what I mean by that is, if they need you to do something, they're going to pay you to do something, which you can take that money and then just pay for the software that you need. So you're not really risking any money, which, going into the next one, is scalability, which is incredibly low. And why is this incredibly low? So you're trading your time for money, and you have a 24-hour day limit. Now, managing a few clients is easy, but now imagine managing 10 plus clients as well as trying to find more work. We all have the same 24-hour day, and frankly, you can only work so much in a day. Keep in mind, you need to have a lot of different expertise in order to even scale here. Now, you might say, well, what if I start to outsource some of the work, to some contractors? Well, then it's not freelancing. Now you just have an agency. Okay. So the next one is fulfillment. Very easy if you have the existing skills. With existing skills, the fulfillment is easy. Order comes in, complete, and then move on. The risk is none. Literally no upfront investment. Skill building is, something that's going to have to happen, and the risk is very, very, very low on you. You're being paid up front for a quick task that your client needs. Not only that, but you do get the money up front, and you're being paid to just simply do a skill you're already good at. There's not really any risk involved. Okay, now the difficulty is variable. It's a little bit high if the, project that you need to take on is just a little bit more difficult, but other than that, it's pretty moderate. If you have the skills and you have the free time, this could totally be a viable option for you, assuming you don't want to scale past $5,000 per month, because remember, your scalability is very limited unless you want to start an agency, which is an entirely different subject and actually becomes a little bit more difficult. Now, let's take a look at the AI incorporation. This one's awesome. So we have moderate. And this kind of just depends on your freelancing skills, because frankly, if you're doing tasks or projects for clients that are just highly revolved around AI, then your AI incorporation is going to be, significantly higher. But in general, generally speaking, it's going to be around moderate. You're going to have some AI writing tools, design assistance, but still does require a human expertise. One thing to note is people know AI exists, and if they're hiring you, it's not because they want an AI, it's because they want an expert in the field. Okay, so for some tasks, this can be helpful, but the majority of this can't really be outsourced to AI because they're hiring the expert. Okay, let's take a look at like the overarching chart here. One, the upfront capital is incredibly low. Scalability is very low. Fulfillment is easy. The risk is none. The difficulty is variable. And the AI incorporation, I'd like to also say is variable, but here we have moderate. So freelancing is a gig all around. Outside of being impossible to scale, all around it's great. But being within the constraints of a 24-hour period, and this being the determining factor of just how much money I can make, it's not something I am sure I entirely enjoy. All right, so now we're going to be going into the next one, which would be taking freelancing to the next level. And we have SMMA, which is Social Media Marketing Agency. So let's take a look at it. What is it? And I'm sure all of you guys have actually heard this before. It now goes by growth hacking or growth operators. It's a new term. They pretty much just repackaged SMMA and are reselling it. So what is it? This is providing digital marketing services to businesses, including social media management, paid advertisement, SEO, lead generation, or growth hacking. You typically work with multiple clients on a retainer, upwards to some. Occasionally, you can get some percentages out of your clients, and I'm sure you've heard of this business going around a lot more as of lately, so let's kind of break it down. The upfront capital is about $200 to $1,000. You just need a laptop, software, some subscriptions, and honestly, some basic tools. Nothing too crazy here. I must say the client pays for all of the overhead, and honestly, this comes at a very low upfront cost. Everything in this business is traditionally very good when it comes to starting your first online business. Now, what I do have to say is your scalability is low to moderate. Each client adds complexity, and scaling ceilings absolutely do exist. These are diminishing returns upon scaling more. All you're doing is simply providing a service. Your first clients are easygoing, but if you plan on scaling not only your agency but your income, plan on needing a massive team to support the infrastructure. All right, now we're going to take a look at like the fulfillment. And honestly, the fulfillment is moderate to hard. It's just a little bit of client management, team coordination, service delivery, stuff like that. And keep in mind, you're working with people here, and typically businesses that require very precise work to be done, right? If you're working with businesses, they want very precise work to be done that's representing their brand. Okay, this is just simply difficult to keep up with all the fulfillment. Not the most difficult thing in the world to do, but ads constantly changing and needing to be revised and edited does make the fulfillment worth noting. It's not the easiest. And now let's kind of take a look at the risk. And the risk here is low. Cool. So minimum capital and high control over fulfillment. And like I said, clients cover a majority of the risk. Your only risk comes in like service delivery. If you're good at what you do and offer, then your risk is just incredibly low. So the next one is difficulty. Let's take a look at this. So it is moderate to hard, which I'd have to agree with. And then the prospecting, sales, management, increasing competition. There are going to be a lot of pieces that go into the puzzle that make this a ballpark business. And I can't say it's the hardest, but if you lack team building, creativity, management skills, etc., then you're going to have a difficult time navigating around the business model. Let's take a look at the next one, and we have AI incorporation, which is incredibly moderate. Now, you have a little bit of things like content creation tools, ad optimization, but it still requires strategy and client management. Keep in mind, you're dealing with people and real businesses once again. There is some AI that can be involved here, but nothing that can remove the human requirements. Looking at just the overarching chart here, we have upfront capital is incredibly low. The scalability, once again, is low to moderate. The fulfillment is moderate. The risk is low. The difficulty is moderate, and the AI incorporation is moderate as well. Now, I'm sure you've seen this all over the place as of recently. It's just called growth hackers. And let me tell you right now, this is SMMA repackaged and resold. It's not that it's not great, but frankly, it's a very difficult business model to scale. Now, talk about difficult business models to scale. Has anybody tried to pitch you on software recently? Oh my God, what is it? Building software is selling applications, whether it's mobile apps, web platforms, SaaS tools, or desktop programs. And this includes everything from simple productivity apps to complex enterprise solutions. Your upfront capital is going to be within the hundreds to $500,000, if not millions. You need a development team, infrastructure, your marketing budget. And I mean, it's literally software. It requires real people with real brains and loads of experience. Not only are the tools expensive, but so is the talent that is going to build it out for you. Your scalability, on the other hand, honestly, I think this might be the highest scalability out of any of the options that we have here. Once it's built, you have a 32x multiplier on your shoulder ready for a massive $10 million plus cash offer. If anything, this is the most scalable business model out there. The next one is fulfillment, and oh man, is this difficult. Not only do you need ongoing development, there's going to be bugs that just constantly need to be fixed, and then you need feature updates to keep people around. I think the churn on software is like 4 to 6 months as well. So have you ever tried to create a product not using somebody else's product that can sustain thousands of users with minimum bugs? Software from scratch has to be one of the most difficult tools to fulfill, given that the entire backend alone is what keeps everything afloat. And without an incredible team and years of development, frankly, it's just a difficult thing to do. Now, when we take a look at the risk, extreme, straight up, high failure rate, massive capital requirements, the churn and burn, it's a churn and burn business, to be honest. With AI being as powerful as it is, new companies are launching day in and day out. People are off to try and find the newest and greatest technological advancements and expect a 4 to 6 month churn rate. And keep in mind, churn rate is how many months people actually use the tool before moving on. And it's been higher than ever as of recently, because with AI, we can develop sort of softwares within a few hours. So people are always just trying as many softwares as they possibly can. Now, the difficulty is extremely hard. You need technical skills, funding, years of development. Not only do you need a massive team of experienced developers and management skills to direct, but you also need massive amounts of technical skills yourself, the ability to be funded, and the years of development patience. Now, let's take a look at the AI incorporation, which is great, which is very high, and AI can assist with coding. Still does require technical expertise and team management, but nonetheless, with AI, you can incorporate it into your entire company business, and frankly, you can just make an entire AI-related company. When we look at the overarching chart here, we see that the upfront capital is $100,000 to $500,000, and I say this is pushing about $1 million. The scalability is incredibly high. The fulfillment is very hard. The risk is extreme. The difficulty is also extremely hard. And then the AI incorporation is high. So software is by far the best, but most difficult business model to get involved in. All right, the next one we're going to be talking about here, we're getting really, really close to the one I'm very excited to introduce to you guys, but this one now is affiliate marketing. Now, what is it? This is simply just promoting other companies' products or services and earning a commission for each sale made through your unique referral link. This is typically done through content creation, reviews, or recommendations. Now, the upfront capital on this is like $200 to $1,000. And one thing I want to quickly say before we get too far into this is affiliate marketing is incredibly valuable if you just have any form of personal brand. Right? If you have any amount of followers on Instagram, YouTube, whatever it may be, affiliate marketing can make you a good amount of money. Now, so like I said, the upfront capital is about $200 to $1,000. Only thing is like the content creation tools and maybe some paid traffic if you really wanted to take it to that level, but not much at all. Especially if you have a brand already. Simply linking other people's companies just doesn't cost anything. You're literally just linking another company. It's free. It's not bad. Now, the scalability, on the other hand, is moderate. Limited by audience size and content creation capacity. The size of your own brand and capabilities in marketing is the entire determining factor on just how big you can scale. Now, I try to get people to do this, but they just don't want to. Building a personal brand. And the bigger your personal brand is, the better that this business, makes you money, and the easier it makes you money. But I know a lot of people are just not really into the whole personal branding type of thing going on. So Next one we're going to get into is just the fulfillment, and it's moderate. You need an audience, okay, but there is not really any product fulfillment. It's all digitally fulfilled, given that one person who is given all your traffic is going to be doing the fulfillment themselves. So for an example, if I were to get a sponsorship from, I don't know, this candle that I have over here, I would just simply copy and paste my referral link into my Instagram bio, and then people that buy it, and I just get a percentage off that. So they're going to be doing all the fulfillment, no fulfillment on my side. Now, the risk on the other hand is very low. We have minimal investment and skill building benefit, to be honest. Maybe you take a risk on your own brand, possibly fans being annoyed that you're plugging so many other companies in your videos, but other than that, not really any risk. What I would say, if you do plan on doing anything like this, just, iterate how many times you're, doing a brand deal. But the difficulty in general is moderate. This could take months/years to build a meaningful audience that'd be willing to pay for the product that you're actually selling. Now, the AI incorporation is moderate. Okay, there's not much that you can incorporate AI into in this. It's taking your personal brand and then simply amplifying it. Okay, there's not much AI incorporation here, to be honest. You're taking your personal brand and then you're just linking a product. It's not like an AI model. Now, looking at the affiliate marketing chart, we have upfront capital is very low. We have the scalability moderate. We have the fulfillment moderate. We have the risk, which is very low. We have the difficulty as moderate, and then the AI incorporation also as moderate. So now, so many people hate the idea of building a personal brand, and I hate to say it, but this is how you can be successful in this business model, and there really isn't another alternative. So if personal brand building just kind of scares you, this is straight up is not the business model for you. It is easy once you have a personal brand. I hope this makes sense. But what I do have to say is, alongside the personal brand building being a bit annoying, who wants to promote somebody else's product anyways? I mean, considering that you can have AI just build out your own product for you in a couple days, just promote your own product, especially if you're going to build a personal brand around it. The next one we're going to go into is real estate. And then right after real estate, we're going to go into the business model that I'm incredibly excited to bring to you. We are getting there. So what is it? Real estate is investing in physical properties through various strategies, including flipping, buying, renovate, sell, wholesale, which is like contract assignment, and then rental properties or commercial real estate investments. Now, your upfront capital for this is going to be $50,000 to $100,000 to $200,000 plus down payments, renovation costs, and holding costs. I mean, it's incredibly expensive. If you know a single thing about real estate, it's far from a upfront capital-friendly business model. Now, taking a look at the scalability, it's low to moderate. Each property is a separate project requiring attention. With the right management and staff in place, it can be scaled indefinitely, but remember, with the right management and staff. As your property holdings grow, so must your team. Now, the fulfillment on this spectrum is very hard. You need contractors, you need permits, you need market timing, you need countless variables to kind of just work in your favor in order to be successful. Now, relying on physical labor to operate your entire company, doesn't this go against what we're trying to do here in the first place, right? Now, the risk is very high. You have market shifts, cost overruns, contractor issues, and risking hundreds of thousands of dollars on the good faith of America. Now, looking at, the difficulty, we have very hard, okay? You need construction knowledge, you need market expertise, and this does just take years to master. Mentally and physically difficult. Not only that, but you have to have an incredible network, but you also need to have years of market experience, your license, and even construction knowledge to make sure that things are coming out to your liking. Now here with AI incorporation, it's very low, some market analysis tools, but physical world limitations, and AI is nearly useless in this industry. Now, when we look at this chart, it's probably the worst chart here. Your upfront capital is through the roof, your scalability is low, your fulfillment is very hard, your risk is very high, your difficulty is very hard, and your AI incorporation is also incredibly low. We all know real estate is a game of protection of wealth, not generation of wealth. So unless you have millions in the bank, it's a hard avoid for me. Now, at this point, we have broken down the most popular ways in the world right now to make money online. We have drop shipping, stock trading, investing, crypto, freelancing, SMMA, software, affiliate marketing, and real estate. Not only that, but we've talked about the pros and cons of each one of these business models, and quite frankly, none of them stood out to me. None of them give me an absolute confidence that this is the direction any of you guys should go. And honestly, the majority of them are becoming more and more unviable every single day. Now, keep in mind, I have made a large amount of money from every single one of those business models that we had just talked about above, and I think it's time that we open up a new golden era door of what's making teenagers hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with minimal effort, low upfront cost, and overall the perfect business model for anyone to get started in straight away, and honestly can make a substantial amount of money from it. All right, guys, I need a drum roll. My friend, I introduced to you Digital Products 2.0. You see, a digital product is a way of packaging an online product in a way that solves a particular problem for a buyer. Now, this can be in a traditional course or an education program, but in 2025, this has now evolved into actual tangible products such as apps, software, and tools. 2 years ago, heck, even 5 years ago, I would have told you that this is seriously the biggest waste of time. Given that it just simply wasn't very easy, I'm going to say it was just difficult, and frankly, it was just wildly too expensive. Now, my friend, like I said, with 2025 bringing us a rainstorm of AI, we have been able to finally eliminate all of those things that I just mentioned. Now, guess what? Exactly just removed that terrible barrier to entry. You guessed it right, AI. Now, let me put it like this. What used to require thousands of dollars, months of research, expertise in a specific area, synthesizing the info, and either creating a tangible product or an info product, then scripting the videos to finally be able to sit down and record the content would take months to do, sometimes even years. Okay? And don't even get me started on actually hosting the product to be sold. Now, with AI, this takes less than a few days to do all of the things that I just mentioned above and more. AI is able to completely research a topic, synthesize the information, and script the content ready to be recorded in minutes. Now, let me also let you in on something here. It can create the content for you to market as well. Yes, you heard me clearly. Oh, wait, I must have forgot. AI can actually create an entire fully coded software for you to sell as well. So you aren't by any means limited to selling courses or info. As a matter of fact, whatever you can think of selling can be built with AI in just a few minutes. Now, what I like to call the 4 pillars of a digital product launch, AI is able to develop all of them. So first and foremost, it can identify a product that's worth being sold. This can be apps, software, SaaS, any online tools, info, courses, education programs, you name it. Not only that, but it can synthesize all of the information related to the product. It can create a comprehensive product outline for you, which is just essentially absorbing the information needed to create a product and creating an entire product outline for you. Next, it can do the whole product development, whether it's a course, an app, software, tool, it doesn't matter. AI can literally build it all for you. And the last and final pillar, we have marketing. Using all the information, it can create exact scripts ready for publicizing. Remember, you don't need to show your face. As a matter of fact, you don't even need to use your own voice. It's almost as if AI can literally do the entire thing for you. What used to take months can all be done within a few minutes. Now, I know that this sounds a little too good to be true, but instead of me telling you, let me just show you. Right here is AI actually synthesizing content. Right here is AI actually scripting up info content that you can sell. Here is AI creating an actual product that you can sell, not just info. Here is AI actually teaching someone the course or showing somebody how to use your product. And here is AI taking a script and applying a real voice to it. Listen, I know this sounds crazy, and frankly, I needed to stop myself from getting too deep into that whole thing because AI can just do anything that you can think of. There's so many AI tools around right now, it's just wild. Like I said, AI can literally do everything for you, and especially within a digital product business, it nearly makes you, the boss, obsolete. But in this case scenario, we are actually using AI opposed to it overtaking us. Listen, I want to make this very clear. You don't need to show your face in order to make a substantial amount of income. How many businesses in the world do not require you to show your face? I mean, for Christ's sakes, even working at a local Subway requires you to show your face. Now, keep in mind, these tools don't just make a few things for you and then leave you with the heavy lifting. As a matter of fact, it's the exact opposite. The AI will do the heavy lifting and leaving you just with one simple job. All you need to do is just tell the AI what to do. It's incredible. Now, what about actually hosting and selling the product? We're in 2025 now, and I can safely say that there are platforms that will not only host your product, but will also boost your sales through their built-in marketplaces. What does this do? This leads to the barrier to entry being lower than ever before. This makes me think of something else, honestly. A few years ago, we had another, business model that was nearly impossible to get started in. This was e-commerce. This was drop shipping. Do you remember? The one that we were just talking about. Not only did you need a full development team and a back-end system to get started, but you also needed hundreds of thousands of dollars to get going. Then comes a few years, we fast forward, Shopify releases, a platform that allowed everyone to sell physical products online. Then came Amazon. What exactly happened to these platforms when they became accessible to everyone? Oh yeah, this became the first digital gold rush. And frankly, I hate to say it, but this is when kids not even old enough to have a credit card started printing tens of thousands of dollars a month. I was that kid. These platforms literally eliminated any barrier to entry. You see, when coupling AI to build your product and tools like WAP, School, Framer, and different integrations, you have yourself one of the greatest money-making tools available in the entire world right now. Okay, but don't let me get too far ahead of myself. We need to compare it fairly within the framework that we have discussed previously. So on to number 8, digital products 2.0. What is the upfront capital? We're looking at $100 to $200. AI tools, basic recording equipment, and free hosting platforms. With a couple of AI tools, you can go from start to finish with not only an extraordinary low cost, but nothing more than an iPhone, a tablet, or even a computer that you have laying around. Your scalability is very high. You create this product once and you sell it infinitely. No physical limitations. Digital products have become one of the highest scalable rankings in the world. Given that you create a product one time and this will continue to sell for years to come, there's no requirement of more people, bigger teams, no more ad spend. As a matter of fact, with AI, you have your full team within your computer. Your fulfillment is incredibly easy. AI handles research, content creation, and scripting. And like I said, we've already discussed that AI can make and market your entire product for you. Fulfillment has never been easier. Your risk is incredibly low. We're talking minimal investments, quick testing, and free platforms. You aren't actually even risking anything. Everything is done for you at such a low cost, which then makes the difficulty incredibly easy because it's a young industry, it's brand new, there's no competition, and AI does all the heavy lifting. You just simply need to tell the AI what to do, and then you sit back and relax. Now we talk about the AI incorporation. Wow, revolutionary. AI researches topics, creates outlines, scripts entire courses, generates resources, handles customer support, optimizes marketing, essentially automating 95% of the business. The fact that AI literally creates and markets the entire product for you shows just how AI incorporated this business model really is. Now, let me make this very, very clear. I want you to get involved into Digital Products 2.0 because getting into it right now is like getting into the S&P 500 in March of 2000. Or getting into dropshipping or Amazon FBA 5 years ago, early on before anybody even knew how big and powerful it was. Now, like I said, if this was a few years ago, I tell you to stay away from digital products entirely. And our conversation here would be entirely surrounding e-commerce and dropshipping. But frankly, like we've talked about, times have just changed. You know when you talk to your parents or grandparents and they just don't know how social media works? They don't know how their new phone works. This is not what you want to be right now, and especially not in your current state of life. I mean, think of it. We just got our first iPhone in 2007, and now we have AI that is replacing millions, if not hundreds of millions of jobs worldwide. Do you see just how fast the world is moving? The last thing you want to do is brush off this video and forget everything we've talked about here and just end up being another statistic. What I want to do here is I want to summarize. Let's take a look at this chart. Just like we've done with all the products, the upfront capital is in the greens. It's at $100 to $200. That's incredibly low. Your scalability has never been higher. Your fulfillment has never been easier. Your risk has never been lower. Your difficulty has never been easier. And your AI incorporation has never been higher. So with that, digital products is the number one easiest way to make money online right now. And honestly, it will continue to be for the next 5 to 10 years. But trust me when I say this, the space is rapidly changing. And the earlier you get involved, the faster you will guarantee yourself a safe spot in the market wherever this economy decides to go. What I want to do is I want to go over a nice high level overview just so you get to see every single business model in comparison to each other to show you just how incredible digital products really is right now. Let's take a look. So looking at dropshipping, we have a $2,000 to $5,000 upfront capital. The scalability is moderate. Your fulfillment is moderate. Your risk is pretty high. Your difficulty is very hard. And then your AI incorporation is just very low. Taking a look at the second one, we have stock trading / investing in crypto, which you have an upfront capital of about $5,000 to $25,000, which is just high on the scalability, easy on the fulfillment, but then the risk is in the extremes. The difficulty is very hard, and then obviously the AI incorporation is incredibly limited. Taking a look at the next one, we have freelancing. And freelancing, honestly, freelancing and SMMA are probably like, if digital products didn't exist, freelancing and SMMA are like by far the best here, especially when you're just trying to get in and just make easy money online. With freelancing, you have $0 to $500 upfront capital. Your scalability is incredibly low. Your fulfillment is very easy. Your risk is none. Your difficulty is variable, just depending on, what you're doing. And then your AI incorporation is moderate. Now, taking a look down at the next one, like I said, SMMA is great. $200 to $1,000. Your scalability is incredibly low. Your fulfillment is moderate. Your risk is very low. Your difficulty is moderate. And then your AI incorporation is also moderate. Now, getting into the software business is the biggest mistake you'll ever make in your life unless you have millions of dollars to fund it. But like I said, your upfront capital is $100,000 to $500,000 minimum. Your scalability is incredibly high. The fulfillment is very hard. The risk is the only other extreme on here. And then your difficulty is extremely hard. And then your AI incorporation is incredibly high. Taking a look at affiliate marketing, we have a $200 to $1,000, upfront capital. Next comes the scalability, which is moderate, and then your fulfillment, which is moderate. Your risk is very low. Your difficulty is moderate, and then your AI incorporation is also moderate. Taking a look at real estate, one more until we get to the big bucks. We have $50,000 to $200,000 if you just want to even get involved in real estate. Your scalability is incredibly low unless you have millions of dollars. One thing to take into account, real estate is great for wealth preservation, but wealth creation is the worst. Fulfillment is very hard. Your risk is very high. Your difficulty is very hard. And then your AI incorporation is very low. Now, taking a look at the last one, which, wow, it's green across the board. We have $100 to $200 upfront capital. Your scalability is higher than it's ever been. Your fulfillment is easier than it's ever been. Your risk is lower than it's ever been. Your difficulty is easier than it's ever been. And then the AI incorporation is higher than it's ever been. Listen, I'm going to come to a close. I just want you to have a clear picture of exactly everything that we've talked about today. For one, digital products are becoming a $1 trillion market within the next 5 years. In comparison, you are so wildly early that it would actually be nearly impossible for you to just not make a substantial amount of money within the next month or maybe even a few weeks. But you do have a decision here, and this decision is the decision that is going to hold the gravity of your entire life on the line. Do you remember when that YouTube guy begged you to get into Bitcoin a few years ago? Maybe. I'm now sitting here begging you to not just be another lost job statistics, but instead to join the revolution of AI era and work less now than ever before, yet make more money than you ever have in your entire life.